What up, all you BAMFers? We are here in episode 20, part 1 of MFW Warzone. Thank you once again for joining me, Roman Empire, as we journey into the multiverse yet again. We have some big matches lined up on the card. Between part 1 and part 2, this is our go-home show, moving towards the Bulletproof pay-per-view. That's coming up very, very soon. So we've got to shape out the last bits before going right into that pay-per-view. And that starts tonight, right here in Richmond, Virginia. We've seen the Legion of Doom run roughshod members of the Justice League, Superman himself, members of the Superman family, taken down by the Legion of Doom. Particularly prominent has been the debut of this pairing between Bizarro and this man Lex Luthor, who has been managing him moving forward. Ever since that coupling has been brought together. I know the way I phrased that, but please no ships. Don't want to see it. Keep that to Rule 34. I don't want to know that. Moving on. Kids, if you don't know what Rule 34 is, it's just a rule in a handbook that you don't need to know about until you're much older. As we move on from that topic, somehow, as I was saying, we saw Superman take some time away after losing and after seeing what's been happening to various allies. And he's come back with the strategy to defeat Bizarro. And that is to manage this man. Superboy looking for a rematch against Bizarro. We saw him lose a match to Bizarro before. But Superman says, evening out the odds, being in Superboy's corner will change everything. He believes this young man has the ability to do what he couldn't and defeat Bizarro. All he needs is the right backup. We're about to see if that proves true, as Superboy and Bizarro go one-on-one. Big clothesline out of the corner, not even decking Bizarro, only to get return treatment. That power difference between these two. However, Superboy does have the speed advantage. This is what power dampeners make all the more obvious and relevant, is that size, weight, all these things do factor in once you remove things like super strength and super speed. Both still stronger than most human beings, but at least they won't be ripping out chunks of the arena. Big right hands, a flurry of them. All it takes is one little power move like that, though, and suddenly everything shifts back in Bizarro's favor, so Superboy has to keep the offense going somehow. Quite a reversal there from Bizarro into a scoop slam. Now cranking the neck. Working over. Oh, going to the top rope. Could see a high-flying maneuver here. Knee across the chest. Thus far. Now, oh, missing the boot. Looked like he went for the face and just kind of whiffed it. Either that or Superboy managed to just shrug it off completely. That is that wilder, less disciplined fighting style of Bizarro. There are drawbacks to it, of course. Oh, went in for a spear, it looked like, and got stopped with a knee. As suddenly it's right into the suspended DDT. Off the ropes! Luthor distracting the referee as Superboy went in for the pin, forcing Superboy to break it up on his own. And that is that managerial advantage that Luthor has provided for Bizarro. But now, with Superman in Superboy's corner, have to wonder if that advantage is somewhat mitigated, or at the very least balanced out. Reverse DDT from Superboy. Superboy now dragging Bizarro to the ropes. Oh, springboard Superboy stunner! Hit that finish off the springboard, only for Luthor to distract him. Superboy has to keep his eyes on the ball cannot allow Luther to distract him. Had a win potentially there, hitting that springboard version of his Superboy Stunner finisher. Could have had the pinfall, got distracted. That could cost him. And now another series of strikes. Went for a low one, only to catch a spear. Ate a spear right after that series of combination strikes. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Impressive from both men so far. Superboy came prepared, probably shared some strategy ideas with Superman before coming into this matchup. Bizarro setting up, though. We could see the world's worst suplex. He's got him up. Hits it! Into the pin. 1, 2, 2.5. Superboy kicks out. Bizarro's surprised and can't really blame him. He's tend to put away most of his opponents with moves like that. Those high impact finishers of his. Another rope hung DDT. Could he hit it? Yes, that's a second. Luther not looking as confident as before. Into the pin. Only a 2 count. Both fighters giving it their all here. Superboy looking like he wants to finish. Oh, whiffing on the big right hand, though. There it is! Another Superboy Stunner into the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. He's hit 2 in variation forms of those Superboy Stunner finishing maneuvers, but neither one has been able to put away the monstrous Bizarro. Superman on the outside, though, still looking confident. Sure, he discussed quite in detail what Superboy needed to do based on his knowledge firsthand and watching Superboy's first match with Bizarro. That butterfly suplex there. And I'm sure they've come up with a winning strategy moving forward. That being said, Bizarro still showing considerable dominance in his burst of offense. But with that being said, Superboy's definitely put up more of a fight than he did in that first matchup and has been showing some real solid offense whenever he has a chance to take control. As we can tell already by the fact that he's hit 2 of those finishers. Bizarro normally used to hitting 1 or 2 of his own, and that is about it for any of his opponents. So taking this much offense, as he's busted open by that third rope hung DDT, is not something that Bizarro's used to. Big drop kick. Get the height on that athletic drop kick. Oh, and there it is. A third Superboy Stunner into the pin. This should be it. 1, 2, 3. Superboy with a huge victory. It took 3, one of them a springboard, of those Superboy Stunners to put down Bizarro, but he does it. Oh, angry Bizarro. Superboy wisely ducking out of the ring. Oh, and the referee clocked. Bizarro has lost it. He is furious. Gotta imagine he's not done with Superboy after that one. I wonder if Lex can keep him in control now that he's lost, or if he's just going to go off on his own. But regardless, we move on here at Warzone as another strange pairing comes forward. This one far more strange than the ones we just saw. Thor, the multiversal champion, accompanied to the ring by Loki. Loki, the man who attacked him in his debut match on the inaugural episode of Warzone. Loki, who hit him in the ding-ding at some point. Loki, who after taking it to the guy's giblets, offered a handshake, as we would learn as part of some sort of wager, a deal these two made. Based on the results of that matchup, Not only has Loki removed himself from the current title picture, as long as Thor is champion, he will not pursue the title. It has apparently been decided between these two that Loki will support Thor. Why Thor would trust anyone who's had hostile intentions towards his man bits, I've been on that rant before. Promise I won't do it again. But regardless, we have found ourselves with the Odin sons working together as Loki has become the backup for Thor as he takes on in singles competition, preparing himself to move forward towards the Bulletproof pay-per-view where he will defend that title against a contender that will be determined in part 2 of Warzone. He prepares against Black Adam. Thunder and lightning clash here at part 1 of Warzone, episode 20. If you're enjoying all the action tonight, of course, hit us with a like. If you've got matches in mind for the future, or you're just thinking about some of the matches you've seen and what's been going on in your head and you want to just pour it out with the rest of our fans here, add it to the comments. I will read them. I love reading that kind of stuff. And remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Another sportsmanlike handshake between this DC Marvel clash here. These two have not met before. Respect being shown for the sheer power between these two as they come in hot. Ooh, duck a clothesline, countered but got batted away. The raw power both of these men have. There promises to be a brutal and force-filled competition between these two. It's Thor now working the leg. Loki on the outside. I would find it difficult to keep my eyes on the match while trying to keep eyes in the back of my head. He's not a trustworthy individual, known for his craftiness and deception, so I find it strange. But regardless, I guess blood is thicker than water, and you can't know the thoughts of Asgardians. The sheep does not know the thoughts of the wolf, something like that. I'm an amateur philosopher at best. I won't promise to remember any of the quotes. As Thor here once again takes control. Deadlift gut wrench. Suplex. Oh! Toss him down straight into the pin. Only a 1 count. Black Adam powering out. The Shazam acronym. Much more difficult to remember for the Kondak version. Hip toss here into the knees to the face. I'll have to write that down at some point for you all. But it is not the same as the Shazam acronym for Billy Batson, counterpart, aka Shazam. It's the eponymous name. Both men similar powers, but gathering those abilities from different deities. Oh, up into the military press. We've seen this before. The raw power of Thor. Down he goes. Dropped, and Loki looking very supportive. Can't imagine why he's lost his shot at the Multiversal Championship as long as Thor holds that belt. But it looks like he's at least going to feign his support. Perhaps I'm biased. Perhaps I'm assuming this support is not genuine. But you can't blame me. I have my reasons for doubting him. I believe Thor should as well. But regardless, in his corner, as Thor takes it to Black Adam. Oh, Thor having a little bit of a... He's getting a little too riled up. He's fidgeting there a bit. Might have cost him. Got into a little fidget fest, only to get booted in the face. And fighting out of this arm lock. Oh, up again for a second military press combination here. brings him down hard. Yet another high impact move into the pin. Only a 2 count. Obviously, this is great preparation because in part 2, there will be a pairing of triple threat matches for #1 contendership for the 2 singles titles in the men's division. As, oh boy, we're about to see Thor's hammer. Nails it! Into the pin as he brings the hammer down. 1, 2, only a 2 count. The resiliency of Black Adam to kick out, and that resiliency is, as we were just saying, a great example of why it's a good matchup for him to prepare, because those contenders will be Iron Man, fellow Avenger, Dr. Doom. Ooh! Brain buster on the back of the knee as Loki's now distracting the referee. It wasn't enough, though, to keep him away from this! Lightning strike. Pile driver. 1, 2. Only a 2 count, though. Perhaps the distraction just enough to keep Black Adam from fully paying attention and committing to the impact of that finisher. Who knows? Or maybe just Thor kicking out on his own power. Regardless, Loki a factor in that few moments. As we were saying, though, great preparation because he'll be either facing Dr. Doom, Iron Man, or Thanos, the man that was recently partnering with Loki up until now. Which is why I have some doubts as well. We have no guarantee that Thanos will not end up in that match and that Loki won't turn on Thor somehow. Somehow, I act as if it would take a great deal of shenanigans, but no, another brainbuster from Black Adam. Setting up for a second lightning strike. Pile driver into the pin. And Loki distracting the referee. That could have been it. The champ could have lost this matchup to this challenger off that finish, if not for Loki. Cannot be emphasized enough that that might have just saved the match. Oh, wait a minute. Ref throwing Loki out. It looks like the ref has ejected Loki. It will now be Thor and Black Adam one-on-one. No interference further from Loki. He's been ejected from ringside. It now comes down to these two men. Oh, that was a mistake. Thor getting a little cocky, taunting Black Adam, telling him to bring it, only to get stomped in the back of the head. But yes, that power that Black Adam has, that strength, as he goes in for the sneaky pin here. Only a 2 count, pushed out. That power Black Adam has, and that ruthlessness, matched by the types of Dr. Doom and Thanos, and of course the power and intelligence of Iron Man, as well as the ego, probably matches Black Adam. So any one of those three prepared for with a match against someone like this is a power bomb. Catches the ropes a bit on the way down. Loki has been ejected from ringside for interfering here. As Black Adam sets up for another finish. No! Stop this time. Went to the well yet again, but it did not pay off. Thor knew what was coming. Wait a minute. Spear through the ropes! Takes him clean off the apron. The crowd chanting, "This is awesome." God of Thunder leveling Black Adam with a huge tackle through the ropes. With such force, and that might have just turned this whole match around. Thor obviously looks like he is ready to absolutely take his opponent to task after pulling off that huge adrenaline-pumping spear. Oh, looked like he was setting up for a Thor's hammer again. Black Adam fighting out of it, though. Now, looking to hit an aerial maneuver here is Black Adam. Oh! Catches him with a leg drop to the back of the head, and he's busted open Thor. Only a 2 count. As bloodied Thor kicks out. It was a huge leg drop bulldog from the top rope to the back of the head. Thor now carrying around his opponent. Oh! A little bit of white noise. Kick out from Black Adam. Both men, such high impact offense, but it's just not been enough to put away either one. This is a main event quality matchup you are watching right now. Both men have given it everything they have to try and put the other one down. Up he goes. We could see another Thor's hammer here. Lands it. Into the pin. 1, 2, 3, and the champ pulls out the win. You got to give a bit of an assist to Loki for earlier in this matchup, but regardless, the champ pulls out another win here at Warzone. Big victory for Thor. Took a pairing of those Thor's hammers to bring down his opponent, and he took quite a bit of abuse in the process, but at the end of the day, the W goes to Thor in this win column. Another Marvel versus DC matchup you can only see in the crossing over multiverse of MFW, as the champ has the momentum moving towards Bulletproof. But we are not done with part 1 yet. We move on to the women's division, specifically the women's tag team division, but this will not be a tag team matchup. There's only one team so far who has beaten the undisputed women's tag team champions, and that is the Teen Titans. So in singles competition, we will see 2 of those members, one from each team, battling it out, as the Birds of Prey hope to even the score through singles competition. As we wait in anticipation here, making their way to the ring. These two have been so impressive since teaming together and since winning those tag team titles in that chaotic 4-team matchup at Flashpoint. Batgirl will be the representative of this matchup. Black Canary in her corner as they take on, accompanied to the ring by Raven, Starfire. That's right, it'll be Starfire versus Batgirl in this matchup. The first time we will see in pinfall and submission decided singles competition. Obviously, we've seen Starfire and Raven in that 8-woman battle royal in the inaugural episode to determine a contender for the Multiversal Women's Championship. So we've seen them solo. That does not necessarily mean, though, that we have seen what they're capable of in a singles matchup. Very different rules, very different circumstances. It'll be interesting to see what this pairing is like facing off in the ring. Starfire and Raven ready to go. Raven and Black Canary, a bird in each corner. A bat in the ring is where 2 birds around it or something. It's not catchy. It's not exactly catchy, but there's no bushes. And there's only 2 birds, so you can't really do the whole bird in hand, 2 in the bush metaphor. Moving on. I lost the plot at this point. Starfire kicking things off with a big crucifix. And, oh! Answered by a Hurricane Rana's. Batgirl now looking to claim a victory, get a win back on this team through singles competition. Obviously, in tag team action, the only team to beat the Birds of Prey was this duo, Starfire and Raven. Batgirl and Black Canary not only going to let that score settle as is. Interesting that they would go into singles competition. I like it. Shaking things up a bit. Rather than simply attempting to win another tag team match with these two. Batgirl now into that stretch we've seen before. Knees into the back of her opponent. And the roll. Another crucifix. Planting Batgirl into the back of her head and neck. Ooh, big forearm. Starfire more aggressive in combat than some would suspect. Her bubbly nature, her friendliness, sometimes belies that rather aggressive nature when in combat. She's a warrior in her own right, and it shows in moments like these. Oh, went for a super kick, it looked like. Flips out of the backdrop right into another forearm. Another crucifix, this time going for the pin though. Only a 1 count. Now that series of kicks. Seen this combination before. Going straight up to the top turnbuckle. Could be setting up for that total eclipse. Oh! Brushed aside, went for it, had it, literally had it, only to get shoved from the small of her back and getting planted on the mat, crashing and burning on that attempt. Oh! Spine buster! What a reversal from Starfire. Was going for the Batwing facebuster. 1, 2, only a 2 count off that big reversal. Was going for that Batwing facebuster, rolled through the ropes, came up, looked to go for that X-Factor style Batwing facebuster, only to get spine busted with force by Starfire. Excellent, excellent counter to that move. Both women countering each other's finishers with really, really impressive quickness and quick thinking. It could be either woman's matchup now. All it'll take is a big maneuver. They've both taken quite a bit of damage. And they both face some impactful reversals of their finishers. It is any woman's match now. Springboarding into a fist to the face. Drop kick. Batgirl making a comeback here. Mushroom stomp. Batgirl up to the top rope now. Her turn to go for a high-flying maneuver. And the stomps. Rolls through. Into the pin. Oh, almost. Could have sworn we heard the 3, but no. 2.9 just kicks out to Starfire. There it is, Batarang. Hits the Batarang. That should be it. But Raven interferes. Raven distracting the referee. That should have been it. Starfire was beat. Hit by that Batarang roundhouse kick. Batgirl undeterred though. Not getting distracted. Just keeping the offense going. Staying focused on her opponent. Starfire's rolled to the outside here, trying to recover. These two battling it out with everything they've got. Knee to the gut into a Hurricane Run of her own. Now cranking the neck, trying to keep Batgirl worn down. Obviously very acrobatic competitor, keeping her grounded, avoids a lot of that offense. Starfire now setting up. We could see a second attempt at the total eclipse. First one did not work out. As we saw, that big reversal caused her to crumple into the mat. Oh! Clipped her. They both go down, but she didn't get all of it. Was too close. Attempted that move anyway. And in the process, it looks like they both went down. A messy execution. Batgirl definitely damaged by that move, but I don't think it's really enough to say she hit that. It looked more like it ended up turning into a neck breaker of sorts. Wasn't what she wanted. Oh, and here's the reversal. Caught up in the ropes, but she got her. Reverse DDT. Batgirl now looking to go high flying to the outside, perhaps. Oh, catches her with the elbow across the top of the head. That second eclipse attempt was way too close. I mean, we'd have to go back and look at it, but it looked pretty nasty. Springboard dropkick. Thought she might be going again for that battering facebuster, but no, went for a springboard dropkick. Only a 2 count. That second total eclipse, like I said, turned more into a neck breaker, but both women going down, not the impact she wanted. Battering! Second battering. This could be it. Into the pin. 1, 2, 3. Batgirl picks up a huge win. It took 2. But in the end, the battering ends the match. Batgirl with a big win for herself and for her team, as they even the score with the Teen Titans. Look at that. That first counter went for that total eclipse, and then that second one, that one from Starfire, Batwing, facebuster turned into a spinebuster, almost at a 3 count as well. That was a very close call. In the end, though, able to kick out, it turned things around. This was another close call, that big double stomp, 2.9. We almost heard that 3 count hit the mat, but no, kicked out. Both women gave it everything they had. In the end, Batgirl comes out victorious. Thank you once again for joining us here at part 1 of Warzone on our Go Home Bulletproof show. So glad to have you with us. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Tell us what you think. Always love hearing from you guys, and thank you for spending your day with me for just a little bit. It means the world, and I hope that I bring something into your life that makes you a little bit happier. It gives you a good time. As a fellow nerd, I love you. I hope you love me back, just a little.